Hello, how are you doing? I'm in here because, I had to did this song, I did this other thing, and it's really late, and my roommates are, I think they're getting ready to sleep, so I don't want to be too loud. I just want to say, I did read that I read an issue in the Awake online. I told you that I would read it because I know now with the knowledge I have and the experience that I would know why I couldn't read. Because remember, I told you I couldn't read when I was a Jehovah's Witness. I couldn't read their literature. I could read, but I couldn't read their literature. And of course, I had to pray about it. And I was reading, and I read it. I only had to read one article because I can figure out things. I write. I wrote a screenplay, I write music, and I'm very much into semantics and linguistics. My minor was in linguistics, and I've always done linguistics, and I didn't even know I was studying linguistics. This is to let you know that I know what I'm talking about. You have to, because a lot of people just tell you things and you don't know what their background is. That's what I learned. So now I tell you why I know something or why I feel very strongly about something. Because I was studying linguistics ever since I was a little kid. And I remember, and this is why I'm telling you the story, so you know my credibility. And so anyway, I was always studying linguistics and meaning and things like that. And how can I put this together? Oh, what I wanted to say is when I was going to college, I needed some credits. And I didn't know what linguistics was because I was studying it, but I didn't know what I was studying. I just loved to study. And I like things, mundane things, like going over letters over and over again in a language that I don't even understand, but I like doing it. But I didn't know what I was doing. But one time I needed credits, because the college that I went to, you had to have a minor, which is like 20 extra credits. I don't know, maybe like 30 extra credits that you have to have. If you don't have a minor, you couldn't graduate. So I had to get a minor. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I took this class because I was taking a language, and I don't know why. I had to take some class, but this class was about language. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what linguistics entailed. So I went into this class, and it was the introduction of the class, and I couldn't believe it. It was everything that I was doing. It was like, this is a class about everything that I was doing that I didn't know what I was doing. So it was linguistics, and I couldn't believe it. It just opened up so many doors for me because it made sense about what I was studying just for fun or for a habit. So that's my intro, and that's my description of letting you know that I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm going back to this Awake magazine. And this time I know that I'm going to find it just very easy. What was it that when I was a Jehovah's Witness that I couldn't read the material? So I was reading this article, and it was I got a word and I didn't take it. I put it down, and I didn't note it before I had this video, but let me see if I can remember it. Not just disheartening, or I don't know, I can't remember the word. But anyway, it was like really, really like just a bad feeling, okay? Almost like disturbing, okay? Something like that. It was a word, something like that. Maybe I'll put it in the description when I do this thing. So it was like that. It was disturbing. And why was it disturbing? Was the fact it has two voices in the magazine while you're reading it. So you read a magazine, it was about the internet, and this is the way the Jehovah's Witnesses read. And I read about the internet, and it's all about technology. But while you're reading about technology, there's another voice. I mean, like, all right, you know, a narrator narrates the story, but only now you can see it when you read the material. They narrate, and then there's another voice telling you about what to think. So that's what was making it so, like, crazy. So it's like you're reading about the internet, and then they tell you about, like, really, like, subtle, like the internet is technology, and technology is filled in the world, and you need technology. And then this other voice, they go like, so when you're texting your friend, and your friend calls, what do? Well, do you really think it's a good idea to do the text? The text is not really important, is it? Which one is more important? You know, like that. And that's what they have throughout there. I hope you catch it. I don't know if everybody else can catch this, but whenever you read something, they usually have one narrator. The narrator tells you, I mean, they could have their feelings about things, but it's not at the same time. But they tell you about, like, the internet and texting, and that's it, okay? And then they do it separately. But these people who wrote this magazine, and it's in all the books, because when I was reading, that's one reason why I couldn't read it, because I was not aware, and I was studying back then, but I didn't know I was studying linguistics. But I couldn't catch that other voice, that other item. Like, for instance, when you read something in the Jehovah's Witness, they tell you something, but then they're telling you something else. And not just that, another disturbing thing was they add scriptures for no reasons. And one was Galatians, and what they were talking about didn't have anything to do with the Bible whatsoever, but they use the Bible to blind people. They use the scriptures to blind people, because they were talking about their point of view, and then they're going to use the Bible for their point of view, and then they're talking about the internet, information about the internet. So you have information about the internet, then you have them telling you how to think, and then after that they put the Bible in it. So it's not really, it was a good experience to show me why I couldn't read in that Jehovah's Witness literature, because I needed to know. See, this is how I am. I need to know who's speaking, okay? And like when I was reading back then, I couldn't catch the fact that, oh, it's information, and oh, they're telling me how to think, and oh, it's about the Bible. So the thing about it is that someone who doesn't understand that will read, and if they're not that sensitive in the material, they're just going to read the literature, and they're going to think the way that they want you to think. So that's all I have on this right now. But I wanted to tell you it was very important. Now I know I don't want to read their article, but I did look at that video about the, I forgot which one, but I didn't finish it, but I'm going to where this sister, this ex-sister, or however you, not ex-sister, because she's not an ex-sister to me, she's a sister because she's ex-Jehovah's Witness, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness, which makes her my sister. But I think we're getting rid of that language. I don't know, I guess. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you followed this, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. It's very important. These are the subtle things that are very big points that I don't think people really catch, but they're very important. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good holiday season.